So by request, I'm doing an updated video on the top 10 most comfortable sneakers for Disneyland 2023. So let's go ahead and get into this video. I want to start off and preface this video by saying basically anything that you choose for your feet, if you're comfortable in those type of sneakers, it's probably going to be the ones to go with. If you like Chuck Taylors and Vans and Jordan 1s and Dunks, even though I think that they feel like bricks on feet, overall, if that's something you're comfortable with, then obviously your body's adapted to it, and that is the option for you. This is my personal list of top 10 comfortable sneakers. And if you guys have other ones that you guys really go with, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let other people know what that sneaker make and model is. Now, if you guys want to buy any of the shoes that I'm going to be talking about in this video, I will link them in order in the description of the video. Hopefully you guys will find this video helpful though. So let's go ahead and get into some runner-ups before the 10. The first one is the Adidas Switch Forward. This is a really comfortable pair actually, and it hasn't been talked about too much. I did a video review on these ones, and the midsole on these are just like an EVA foam, but it's really comfortable, and the overall stack height on them is pretty crazy. You definitely feel a nice walking sensation when you're walking around in these shoes, and overall they are very comfortable on feet. They are $160, and I would say the fit is true to size. And I think that most of the shoes that I'm going to be talking about in this video, I'm going to just say are going to be true to size unless I call them out. So keep that in mind. And next up, we have the Nike Vomero 5, and you can actually get these on Nike's website in select colorways available right now. Again, I'll link them in the description. But the Nike Vomero 5 is actually one of those retro runners. Right now, I think they're on the Vomero 17s, and the Vomero 5 used to be a running shoe 12 years ago, but now it is a retro pair that is just available on the website and super comfortable if you guys are interested in trying those out. It's just one of those lightweight, like kind of stylish looking shoes. Kind of hits both of those boxes where it's really stylish and trending, and it's also really comfortable on feet. And I think those ones are about 150, 160 as well. Then the last one I wanted to mention is the New Balance 990 V6. So this is the latest and greatest version of the 990 series. A lot of people really like that 990 series for everyday wear. I really like them, and I think they're really comfortable as well, but most of the 990s have like a firmer cushioning on them comparison to like a lot of the soft squishy sort of sneakers out there and like the max cushion sort of vibes. So if you like the overall stability and feel of the 990 series, the 990 V6 is the latest and greatest one with the fuel cell sneaker cushioning technology in the midsole as well. So in my opinion, it's one of the most comfortable 990s that have released. But again, that's just my opinion. Similar to the Vomeros, they're trendy. They're something that is stylish, and they are a little bit more expensive though at $200. But you get really nice materials usually on the New Balance with the cut and sew uppers on those. So starting off the top 10, we have one that you probably shouldn't overlook, and that's the Adidas Ultra Boost Light. It does feature light boost in the midsole, making it the lightest version of the Ultra Boost to date, and it is actually really comfortable as well. Something very similar to the Ultra Boost 21 and 22. However, this one again, just being that much lighter, makes it a really nice option for your feet. Now they do fit a little bit snug on the upper if you have a little bit of a wider foot, so just keep that in mind. You might want to go up a half a size in these ones. The overall comfort on these things are pretty good. Even though the midsole looks like it has a crazy max cushion stack, it's not overly soft and squishy because the foam materials nowadays in this super foam market is just not as soft as the rest of the stuff out there. But I will say that from a comfort perspective, I feel like this is one of those great offerings where the firmness is actually kind of represented well, especially at Disneyland lines and stuff. When you're going to Disneyland, there's, two different things that you do with your feet. You walk and you stand pretty much. So basically all these sneakers on this list are going to be running shoes that you can enjoy casually, which is kind of what I do on this channel. I've reviewed tons and tons of different sneakers from a casual perspective. So last time I went to Disney World, I actually wore the Ultra Boost 22s. So even though it is in the number 10 spot, it's one that I'm considering and bringing with a softer, squishier pair as well. Kind of like a recovery day at Disneyland if you're like marathoning it, I guess. But it's firmer than the others on the list, a little bit snug, it's supportive and responsive. Moving on to the number 9 spot, we have the Nike Infinity Run 4. This is with React X. So they updated the midsole technology from regular React to React X. It is a little bit softer than React. You definitely feel a nice little squish, but there is some stability to the shoe as well. These retail at $160, and I would say the fit is snug, so definitely go up a half a size. I'm a true 9.5. I had to get a size 10 in these, and these still fit a little bit snug, but it's the right size. Have you guys tried these out or not? This is one of those shoes that I constantly am just going back to at this point because it's really quite a comfortable shoe. It feels snugger. It's not super crazy soft and squishy, but the cushioning in the midsole is really nice. The fact that it, again, is kind of like the hybrid React and Zoom X, but you don't have like the weird feeling of Zoom X sometimes where it feels like hollow when you're walking around. I didn't feel that as much in this shoe. The Flyknit upper is a little bit stretchy as well and has a little bit of texture to it. I do feel like they do run a little bit hot, so it's not the most breathable option out there, but it is pretty good overall. It's kind of like a knit sweater on your feet the way the knit is. It's pretty thick. But overall, a killer pair, and definitely one that if I wore both days at Disneyland, Universal, these things would be awesome. Next up is the Skechers Go Run Ride 11, and I'm going with the Skechers pair on this top 10, which is a little bit sus, but also just trying to be honest and transparent. I did try the Go Run Ride 11s and they were pretty incredible on feet. They have the Hyperburst Ice technology along with the Hyper Arc in the midsole, and the Hyperburst Ice is really pretty soft and squishy. I mean, it's overall very nice, and the mesh is fairly breathable as well. Like, the overall quality of the product is actually really something. And they do retail at $125, which is a little bit better than something like this. You can't really knock it though till you try it. And the Skechers Go Run Ride 11s are super nice. And the midsole technology is something I've talked about for a handful of years. It's actually quite good. And the lower tiered price point at $125 is actually a pretty awesome deal. It will give a lot of the other sneakers on this list a run for their money if you try them out. And I think most of you guys that try them out that are not used to comfort sneakers, you're going to be blown away by the comfort that the Ride 11s offer you. Now, in my review video, I actually compared the Max Road 6s to the Go Ride 11s, and the Max Road has just a crazy big max cushion stack on it. Might be too big for some people, honestly, for everyday use and stuff. But all in all, both pretty incredible shoes and definitely a worthy spot in a top 10. Which is, again, really weird to say. Moving on to the number 7 spot, we have the Nike Motiva Runs, and this is a walking sneaker from Nike, a really interesting sneaker from Nike, and at $110, I actually like it a little bit better than the Infinity Runs, and I think it's just because the upper and the overall fit is a little bit more relaxed on this than the Infinity Runs for myself for a casual. I believe the midsole tech on this is the Cushionline 3.0, but it doesn't really disclose that on the website. But $110 walking shoe from Nike, the weird bubbles in the bottom were very interesting, and the overall upper, it just looks like a mesh upper, kind of has the same sort of build as another pair that's going to be on this countdown, the Invincible Runs. But overall, for the price to comfort ratio, these things are really, really good. And one other thing is, check this out. I mean, that's like super weird, right? I've never seen a rocking sneaker. Like, most shoes don't do this. So interesting rocker on these shoes. However, it doesn't feel crazy like a weird rocking sensation when you're walking around in the shoes. It feels like a nice little stride as you're kind of strolling around in these things. And I feel like it is pretty good for standing in one place as well as walking longer distances. You're not running, obviously. No running at Disney. But overall, the Motiva is actually a sleeper pair, which is quite affordable. The engineered mesh is decent on the upper. You have fused overlays, and then the tongue and the heel counter has a little bit of cushioning there as well. A lot of bang for the buck for $110. Probably the cheapest option on this list almost for you guys. And a pair that I actually really enjoy wearing. Number 6 on the list, we're going to go with a couple different offerings from New Balance. Honestly, there's a bunch of different versions of sneakers that they offer that you could really go with, and your feet are going to be happy. I was originally going to go with the Rebel V3s because this is the lightest offering at like 7.3 ounces. It's most breathable as well, and there's a crazy amount of soft, squishy feel in this midsole. But then I just got the Vongo V6s, and these things are really, really good as well. Fresh foam X in the midsole and has a stability plate in the middle for a little bit more stability. For those people looking to stand in lines as well as walk around, I feel like this might be the best option for my feet, a little bit better than the Rebels even. And then that New Balance 1080 V12 is also another really solid offering. However, the V13s are going to be out in like a week or so. So I'll link that one in the description of the video because I know the V13s is going to be probably the winner of the group that I'm going to be wearing. However, in the meantime, since I'm going before I get the 13s, I'm going to go with the Vongos. It's going to add stability for me for standing around, but also for walking around. There's a nice amount of soft, squishy feel in the midsole with the Fresh Foam X. The Vongos do run $165 and they are true to size. They do have wide feet offerings, which is super awesome for New Balance to be able to see. But I usually go true to size regular in my Fresh Foam, but in my Fuel Sale, I always go true to size with the wide offering. So I always like the wide and then the regular and the Fresh Foam. Now, getting into this top 5, we have the Hoka Clifton 9. This is probably one of the best options for your feet. Obviously why it's in the top 5, but it's a really comfortable pair that doesn't have any crazy proprietary foam. The mesh is just like regular mesh. It has a little bit of extra padding around the collar and the tongue, but overall this pair of sneakers is just one that you can run in, obviously, but you can also use these for casual walking around. It has a nice amount of cushion in the midsole, and you feel like pretty supported as well considering how big of the foam is, which is going to be a recurring theme in the next 4 different pairs of sneakers. But these ones definitely are a top 5 spot in my opinion. One that over the years since the 6, 7, 8, 9, they all like slowly improve, but also stay very close to the original formula to make you know that they're going to have a nice product for your feet. I like the Clifton so much, I actually got my parents a pair as well, and my dad, every time he comes over, he's wearing the Clifton 8s. So it's definitely a pair that I really think span the generations as well, but it's also just a really comfortable option for your feet, and one a lot of people have tried and really go to, and they quite enjoy. So definitely worth checking that one out. And out of all the Hoka lines, because honestly, there's so many different offerings, it's confusing to know which one is the right one for you. The best thing you can do is just buy some of them, try them, and return them if they don't fit perfectly, and just kind of gauge which is the best one for your feet. The Clifton's is the one that I like the best out of all of them. I tried the Bondies and then a handful of others, and the Clifton's is definitely the one that I go back to. It's nothing fancy, but it does get the job done, and it retails around $145, and I would say the fit is true to size. The number 4 spot on my list goes to On Running brand, and the Cloud Surfer specifically is my favorite model out of all the ones I've tried. And I've tried the Cloud Monsters and another training pair, but this one is definitely the one where I really like the overall squishy feel that they have in this midsole. If you want firmer options, they have some of them like these that look really good. I think these are the X or something like that. But these ones are really good, but firmer underfoot. This is like something crazy soft, like super crazy soft, squishy, definitely like a max cushion sneaker, and one that I really enjoy. The amount of cushioning around the collar and the tongue of the shoe is really nice. Again, nothing fancy for the upper, just engineered mesh for nice breathability. But the midsole definitely shines on this thing. It's really soft, it's really comfortable, and definitely a pair to consider bringing if you guys are going to Disneyland or to Universal and you're going to be walking around quite a bit. The top 5 that I'm going to be talking about are really just max cushion shoes that usually all have wider bases on that you don't feel like you're going to be rolling an ankle in them or anything like that. But again, something nice that you could pair with a firmer pair like the Adidas Ultra Boost Lights, or if you just want to break out some heat and bring some, Jordan 1s or Dunks or whatever, wear those on one day. And then switch them out to these the next day. And then you'll be happy that you brought something like this or any of the other top 10 in my list. The On Cloud Surfers retail at $160, and they do fit true to size in my opinion as well. I got a 9.5. Perfect offering. All right, made it to the top 3. We have the Nike Invincible Run 3. This thing is a beast. This is not my favorite version, but it's the most modern version as of the point of this video. I actually prefer the Invincible Run 1 and 2 better, but this is the latest and greatest version. It has very similar features, but obviously different. I've compared both of them in the past on my channel if you guys want to check out that video, but midsole is nice. You have the Zoom X midsole in here. The entire thing is Zoom X. You have some rubber traction on the bottom, and then you have this really interesting kind of wire mesh, weird upper on the shoe with some nice padding across the tongue. Obviously, a full-length Zoom X midsole in here is just insane. It's really soft, squishy. If you've never tried anything else on this list, but you want a comfortable shoe and you're only a Nike guy or whatever, like these are the one I usually recommend everybody. And anytime anybody gets them, they're just blown away because they're so soft and comfortable. And this running model is kind of one made for the masses. You can see it's a little bit wider on the bottom, like quite wide actually, versus something like the Alpha Fly with Zoom X, and the midsole was very narrow in the heel, made for elite runners. This is kind of like the one for everybody, and it's something that definitely translates over to the lifestyle. For walking around, for something where you need extra cushioning and stuff, these things are going to help your knees out quite a bit when you're walking around Disney and Universal. Now, the only downside for me is when I'm walking around, it feels like I'm walking on something hollow because of the foam. I don't know why. It's a weird sensation for me personally, but on the concrete in Disneyland, I don't know if you're gonna have that problem. These do retail at $180, and I would say they do fit true to size. I got a 9.5, which fits me right. Next, coming in at around $160, you have the Asics Gel Nimbus 25s. These are definitely one of the max cushion sneakers that are just unreal on feet. Like, you can see the midsole is huge on these things. This does feature pure gel in the middle of the shoe, as well as it does have the FF Blast Plus, which is the Flight Foam Blast Plus, which is like Asics versions of like fresh foam from New Balance, and it's their proprietary foam, but they've made it softer and softer and softer, and it's just insanely good on feet. You also do have a very nice stretchy tongue on here that's very breathable. Then the collar on here is one of my favorites that they have, where the material is just super nice and soft. So that part of the upper construction I really like. The midsole I really like as well. The mesh upper is just, again, average mesh, fairly breathable, but engineered mesh. And then the traction on here is pretty decent as well. But again, if you're looking for something with crazy comfort, something where you can walk around and realize that your feet are going to have like a little bit of a break, these are really incredible on feet. And again, $160 versus like $180 for the Nike version. I mean, these ones give the Invincible Runs a run for their money for those people that have not tried these. The only thing I don't love is on the tongue, you do have a pull tab here that the knit right here kind of itches the top of your foot. If you wear no-show socks, this might interfere with your foot right here. It's just a little bit rough. Other than that though, it's just not the most attractive looking shoe. It's a little bit chunky, a little bit weird looking, but try these on and wear these and see how you like them. And if you've had a pair of these or any of the other ones in the top 10 so far, and you can vouch for any of the shoes that I'm talking about, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Again, this is just my opinion of crazy comfortable sneakers that you could use in Disney and Universal, and these ones are a heavyweight contender for sure. All right, made it to the number 1 spot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please drop a like on the video, share it with somebody that you think could find this video informative, and subscribe if you guys are new to my channel and you guys enjoy the content. Again, if you guys want to buy any of the sneakers that are out here, link in the description, and if you guys use my links, it directly supports my channel. Greatly appreciate it when you guys use my links to purchase any of the shoes. So the number 1 spot on my countdown, probably probably not a shocker to most people out there that know that I love this model, but this is the New Balance Fuel Cell Super Comp Trainer 2s. Now, I know some people are going to be like, why is that number 1? It's really soft, squishy, yes, as you can see from the midsole. It does have an energy arc plate in the middle of the shoe, and it definitely is something that can go fast. It's also something that's very breathable, but some people might know that this version is a little bit more unstable feeling to some people than the previous version. So when standing in line, I was kind of wondering, you know, how is this going to hold up? Is it something where your feet are going to feel a little bit jello-y the next day or not because of maybe some wobbly sensation in your legs? So I wanted to try these out before I went to Disney. I went to a gaming convention called PAX in Seattle, and I wore these the entire time. And I'll tell you, they work perfectly. They're so crazy soft and squishy. I absolutely loved the feeling underfoot. And I was able to walk around in these the whole time and stand in lines with the kids and stuff, and even had Maddie up on my shoulders walking around. The extra comfort and the cushion in these are definitely something that I'm just like, okay, this is definitely the one I'm going to be taking with me to Disneyland. I'll probably pair it with the Adidas Ultra Boost Light again. So I have the Ultra Boost Light for a little bit of a firmer pair, and then wear these ones the next day and just see how these ones are and compare them, because I feel like these ones are going to be exceptional and just give me that extra comfort that I am looking for when I'm going to be walking around in Disney and stuff. But these retail at $180 on New Balance's website. I say the fit is true to size, and I did get a wide version because I do have a wider foot. With the fuel cell from New Balance, I always get the wide version. So wide in the Super Comp trainers, and unbelievably good, man. If you've never tried on fuel cell, you've never tried on anything like this, buy a pair of them, check them out. If you don't like them, you can return them. But I promise you'll get them, you'll be like, what in the world? Like this versus like a Jordan Retro, you're just like, it's like the future, and we're here because we have something like this and a lot of these other sneakers out here as well. All these are quite good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if it was, again, informative to you guys, leave a comment and let me know. I appreciate y'all for stopping by and watching, and leave a comment, let me know, what are you wearing to Disneyland? Something on this list, something not. But have a good one. Hopefully see you back on the channel for some more content soon. All right, peace, guys.
Troopers,
I got it.
wait. There. That one.
You must be important. Supreme Leader wants to see you.
Yes.
Here, this way, please.
Some have come here to support the resistance.